Day 3 of the Fluid Links Advent Calendar for 2022. This question comes from Obslob Doc. We know him as Michael. What do you think are the biggest errors the showrunners of the new series have made, and what do you think are their biggest successes for the show? There we go. See, it ends on a positive. If you want to start with the errors first, and then we can get on with the positive. Let's see. What's the first the first RTD era? What is the biggest error they made? Chris?
Yeah.
Cycle through the ones in your mind. Think back to 2008
for a while.
when you were very upset at everything when it came to Doctor Who. And what you didn't like. What's the biggest one out of all that? Is there one? Can you think of one? I'm trying to think.
Biggest one.
Biggest error that Russell T Davies made.
I understand why it was done, but I don't like that they never left Earth.
I was going to say
like
that.
season 2.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Budget reasons, basically, is why they did it.
Well, I mean, that's one answer.
Yeah.
But also, RTD and his whole, the Zog's on Planet Zog thing. And even when they did leave Earth, it was New Earth. So,
right.
Like, samey.
It's just Earth, but not quite Earth. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I don't know. I wasn't big on RTD's writing. That was my biggest problem.
Right.
He had fantastic ideas. He had great openers. He just couldn't. He had problems closing the deal. That'd be my biggest thing, I guess, for his era.
I think I think the David Tennant's Doctor was too human. I think a little too human. I kind of preferred the more alien nature of the Doctor that came later with Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. And right down to the aging. I think he aged as a human. He basically aged 4 years for the exact amount of time that he was Doctor Who on screen, and that was kind of like the epitome of him being a
Except
human
for
Doctor.
when the Master aged him 900 years or whatever. But
yeah, and then we don't talk about that.
Because that was undone anyway.
It was undone.
It never was.
It never happened. It's just kind of heartwarming, actually, that some of the worst stuff of the Russell T Davies era never actually ended up happening. So
retconned itself.
Yeah, which could be termed as a positive. Warren, do you have a negative, your least favorite thing of the RTD era?
Two. One, I think they're going to do a make good on in this new era, which is the Donna mind wipe is still pretty not great.
No.
The other one is how, and this is more on me than it is on RTD. I guess it is on him too. How great Utopia was, how fun Sound of Drum was, how much of a letdown in comparison. Although it's better as I've watched it again, still not great. Last of Time Lords was like the first time we were like, oh, this can be crap. All right, well, here we are.
It's kind of like the Matrix trilogy as a 3-part Doctor Who story when you think about it. Really good first episode. Second one going, they kind of saved it at the end. Right?
Can I add one more?
Yeah.
Sure. We're piling on. Go for it, Chris.
The most popular Doctor ever, David Tennant.
Right.
And he went out like a little
bee? Like a bee?
He's annoyed by that. Chris is annoyed by that still. We're drinking him up.
I'm not a big fan of the Tennant Doctor. Never have been. I probably never will be. But he deserved better. He deserved more.
It was a bit self-indulgent, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, what about your? Yeah, go on. We're still on this.
The original storyline of like him sacrificing himself to save a family, like that just seems more Doctor Who than what happened. I mean, okay, fine. He's still saved Wilf, all that. So it's not a million miles away, but still, he deserved more. He deserved better.
What about your least favorite stuff about the Moffat era? Anything from there?
Least favorite stuff about the Moffat era.
Have a hard time thinking about this because this is my favorite era.
I'm sure there is something. Distance means, and generally liking it makes it tough.
I know Series 10 is your favorite, Stephen. But
it's not my favorite. It is my favorite.
It is.
Series 10, no, Series 8 and 9 are my
Series 8 and
favorite.
9.
Yeah. It's like the Rubber Soul and Revolver of Doctor Who for me, those two.
There was some good stuff in 10, but you could tell Moffat was running out of gas.
A little bit.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit,
Had run out of gas.
He's kind of
he was
repeating himself a little bit. Yeah.
He wasn't even supposed to be there that day.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
To borrow a clerk's line.
Yeah.
And he tried his best, and he maybe didn't succeed. Like there's, the knock-knocks of the world, for example.
Right.
Not so nice.
I agree. Yeah. I think he overcompensated sometimes and didn't need to, like I think Series 6 kind of overreached a little bit when it was like, sorry, we got to be better than Series 5. And so like we had to do more outlandish things, and sometimes it kind of ended up a bit messy.
And that was, I remember, yeah. And I remember back in the day, that was one of your complaints about the RTD era as well. The season finales kept seeming to having to be, so much more grand than the one before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they did that a little bit. Maybe every showrunner does that. I don't know. Warren, what about you? Least favorite?
Well, this is a weird one, but I'm going to compare him with Quentin Tarantino in that Tarantino always has his weird little fetishes on display with feet in films. Yeah. And Moffat very much did that with horn-rimmed, powerful ladies, which I personally, I'm all for,
right.
But that doesn't mean it's not kind of obvious that he's doing it, right? So, so I was like, okay, we get where you're going with this. You don't need to, we get it, buddy.
He played that card a few times. Yeah,
he played it a few too many, like a couple times, sure, but kind of every second one, like Tasha Lem, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Like it got to be a bit much. Even though, like I said, I'm a big fan of said type of lady, but that shouldn't matter. Like that doesn't mean it isn't kind of a bit of a flaw in the show.
Yeah. All right, Chibnall, least favorite aspect of Chibnall.
Marketing.
The first season's lack of anything to do with
marketing. Yeah, can we all agree on that? Can we all agree on marketing?
Yes.
His aversion to anything being released for information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of killed the buzz of the show and it made us seek out stuff instead, which is kind of a bummer. Well, let's leave that there then, and talk about the biggest successes. What do you think? Russell T Davies. Marketing. He brought the show back.
Yeah,
he brought the show back
and made it an instant hit. And the reason that we're still talking about new Doctor Who today is because of Russell T Davies. Let's face it.
Yeah, totally. Especially with him having done some stuff leading up to it that let him make the name for himself that he made.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob and Rose and Second Coming, Casanova being David Tennant's audition piece, effectively, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's never been afraid to big up the show and talk about it and get word of mouth going. And like even since his return, he's at the frickin' BAFTAs with Shruti Gatwa. And what's he doing? He's talking about Doctor Who. Like,
and even trying to avoid talking about it while still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like he could have disassociated himself from that at the time and just talked about years and years or other upcoming projects or whatever. But no, Doctor Who, because he's a lifelong Doctor Who fanboy, and that's why he brought back the shows, because he wanted to take his turn at the wheel and like say what one might about his writing or anything like that. He didn't just bring it back. He also just slam dunk delivered. Like, look at ratings for Voyage of the Damned, or appreciation indices for Journey's End, or like, people wanted to watch what he wanted to produce.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
it's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, can't top that. What about the Moffat era? Favorite thing?
The writing. Absolutely. The precision of the writing, like the wit too. Like he was very, very, like RTD stuff was funny too, but this was just a different kind of, like, I don't know, after the sort of slipshottity of the later RTD years, it was nice to see the precision of these years.
the smartness of the writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like just even like we didn't know it at the time, but 5 episodes into his run, like the conversation between the jacketless Matt Smith doctor
Yeah.
and Amy Pond, like, and his ability to put stuff that you don't see right in front of your face.
Mhm.
Just like there's so many instances.
I know. We keep getting fooled. We keep getting fooled by it.
He's so good at that. Yeah.
Yeah. By
And
hiding
Day
it.
of the Doctor is just a given. Like that's a phenomenal piece of work.
It is. Yeah.
And it's him. It's all
Yeah.
him, basically.
And when he was gone, I realized quite soon that we're never going to have writing like this again on Doctor Who, are we? You know, and that's not even
Probably
a slam
not.
against Chibnall. It's just that Moffat's the best at doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chibnall era.
Yeah.
Chibnall era best thing. I'd say, I mean, diversity
Actually, I want to go
behind.
back to one
Go
a
ahead.
secondary thing from Moffat era.
Yeah.
Rachel Talalay.
Oh,
good,
yes.
Good call. Good call.
Yep. Absolutely. Getting Talalay in is
Talalay for all the Capaldi finale stuff.
Yeah.
All 3 years.
definitely. Chibnall, the diversity behind the camera. And indeed on, because heck, we had the first woman doctor and 2 companions of color, and I thought that he really pushed the boundaries on getting new talent that we've never really heard of before, making Doctor Who. So
Yeah. I mean, one thing we've been really fortunate, I don't know if it's just production team having such a good eye or what, but the directors we've had on Doctor Who over the years have just been so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Your Toby Hayneses and your
Wayne Yip. Yeah.
Wayne Yips and your James Strongs and your Eros Lynns and your whoever.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some of the caliber of some of the people we've had in the Chibnall era has been so much higher.
Yeah.
JB Magnus Stone, for example, like he is just amazing.
Mark Tonderai did the 2 episodes in South Africa that looked great. Rosa and Ghost Monument. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also say that he had some misses that we noticed because we just gotten out of the Moffat era. But when he had hits, they were pretty damn good. Like Rose is great, and the Angels Flux story is great, and Demons of the Punjab is probably my favorite one. Like when they hit big.
Mm-hmm. Isn't Doctor Who great? It's so great. It's so great that I've forgotten about all the things that we've already complained about in this episode.
Exactly. We moaned about endlessly for a year, and now we're going to stop moaning.
Yeah.
Until we moan again.